There are several settings available to customize our experience of navigating to, viewing, and modifying business intelligence content. In this example, we'll change the general preferences for our user account to change how documents are displayed and review the other available settings. We can access the preferences from any tab by using the menu bar. By default, preferences are defined globally by the administrator. To choose our own preferences, we need to disable the default settings. The settings on the General page enable us to define how tabs and documents behave in BI Launchpad, such as changing what displays on the Home tab, which folders display by default on the Documents tab, and which columns display in the table of documents. Let's set the preferences to display the folders view of the Documents tab first. We'll also change the display to open on the Report Samples folder by default. Note that we can change the default category for the categories view in the same manner. We can also choose which columns display in the document list. Let's add the description column to the table. Finally, we can define whether documents display on new tabs or in new windows, and how many items can display on a page. Now we'll review the other settings. On the Change Password page, we can enter a new password for our user account. On the Locales and Time Zone page, we can choose the desired product and viewing locale and the appropriate time zone. On the Analysis Edition for OLAP page, we can choose whether to enable the analysis interface to work with a screen reader. On the Web Intelligence page, we can change the version of Web Intelligence that launches when we view or modify documents, or define a default universe if desired. We can also choose the locale for document viewing, define drill options, and select a priority for how the results from our documents are exported to Microsoft Excel. On the BI Workspaces page, we can choose the page properties that will display when we create our own workspaces to group existing business intelligence content. On the Crystal Reports page, we can choose the format for viewing documents, define how reports are printed, and select the resolution and measuring unit for online display. We can also choose to display the actual technical name for SAP variables in our reports. Now we'll save the changes to our preferences. Note that we have to refresh the browser to see how our changes to the preferences affect the interface. Once the browser is refreshed, BI Launchpad opens on the Documents tab by default, with the Report Samples folder open and the description column displayed in the table. Visit www.sap.com/learnbi for more tutorials on BI Launchpad and other SAP Business Intelligence products.